Hi everybody and welcome to our lockdown series. Today we are doing a technical session focusing on a very important part of batting. If you watch modern great players, they all have different techniques. You could have someone who's very unorthodox like Steve Smith, or you could also have someone who's very traditional like Virat Kohli. As you can see, they have very different techniques, but all great players have one thing in common. Can you guess what it is? Grab yourself a bat and follow along, and let's find out. If you watch modern great players, and even great players throughout history, they all have their own style. They pick the bat up differently and they hit the ball in their own way. But one thing they have in common is they get their bat vertical before they make contact with the ball. The reason they do that is for power. So if you do it, you'll be able to play shots like this.
Oh, long part of the ground and gone for six.
So if you get your bat vertical before hitting the ball, it does increase your power. So if you have your bat, try this now, but it becomes much lighter when you hold it vertically. So if the bat is lighter, we can swing it quicker, and that means we can hit the ball harder. So if we look at that Steve Smith clip from earlier, look how he picks the bat up towards point, and then before he actually hits the ball, he gets his bat into a vertical position, ready to play this lovely straight drive. So as the bat is lighter in my hand, I can actually get my hands high, ready to play a variety of different shots. If we look at two Virat Kohli clips, this first one, look at his backlift. His backlift goes over first, second slip, so very different to Smith, but he still gets into that vertical position, ready to hit that lovely cover drive. Now this is him playing a pull shot. Look at that position he gets into before hitting the ball. Yes, his hands are slightly wider, but his bat is still vertical, ready to fly around and hit the ball hard. Another benefit of having your bat vertical and your hands high is you can play the ball late really easily. If my hands are high above the ball and my bat is vertical, I can just drop my hands onto the ball and play it late underneath my eyes. If you look at this clip of Kane Williamson, who is the master of playing the ball late, look at his vertical bat, and then he allows the ball to come underneath his eyes and he actually runs it down to third man for 4 runs. So hopefully there's enough evidence there on why we should pick the bat up vertically before we actually hit the ball, but now we've got to figure out how we actually do that. So the first thing is having a strong top wrist. Now, if you hold the bat like this and then bring it to your side, by strong we mean 90 degrees to the bat, then if you bend your elbow back, you can see my hands go back and my bat goes vertical. The second point is not having the palm of your bottom hand on the grip. So if you're gripping really tightly and your palm is on the bat, it's really difficult to get that bat vertical. So just by releasing my palm off the bat, I can get the bat vertical and in a nice relaxed manner, and that's really, really important. If you look at Marnus Labuschagne now, we can see his strong top wrist is 90 degrees to the bat, but also look at his bottom palm, it's off the bat so he can get his bat vertical. The last point is that we must dip our front side towards the ball to get our hands back to get power. So I'm right-handed, so I'll dip my front side, which is my left side, towards the ball, which means my hands can get back and they can get up. So from side on, I can dip and my hands can get back and up, and I can swing and hit the ball hard. There's no better example than Brian Lara. Have a look at this clip. Look how he uses his front side. He dips his right shoulder towards the ball because he's left-handed. Therefore his hand can get back, and he obviously has that huge backlift, and he just caresses the ball through the covers for 4 runs. It's all well and good knowing how we pick up the bat and why we should pick it up vertically, but we must go away and practice it now to drum it into our subconscious memory. The best way to practice is to hit the ball as much as possible, because the more volume you do, the more it becomes second nature. So if you've got some outdoor space, try these drills that Chris is doing.
Okay guys, so here's our first drill to work on that high bat position and hitting with power. All you're going to need is a couple of tennis balls, a cricket bat and a wall to hit against. Let's have a go. So very simply, starting in our normal stance with the bat in our top hand in a nice high position. I'm going to be dropping a tennis ball in front of my front elbow, hitting down with power. Let's do one more. So key points here, like Ed said, I'm going to keep my wrist strong. I'm going to dip my front side into the ball and really hit down on top of it. Okay, so even though we got a bit of a dodgy bounce, can still get over the top of that ball and hit with power. Have a go yourself. So our second drill is going to be a little bit more of an outcome-based game. We're going to be fed balls underarm, maybe a couple of bounces. We're going to be attempting to hit those back one bounce to the feeder. That's really important that we start again in that same position with the bat nice and high. And we focus on keeping that wrist strong and hitting the top of the ball to achieve this goal. Maybe have a go at 10 in a row, see how many you get, and then swap over. Okay, so there we are, 2 really simple drills and games for you to practice batting from that high backswing position. This is going to be a recurring theme over the coming weeks. We think it's massively important to becoming a good batter. So keep an eye out for future videos and remember to go away and practice. Let us know anything creative you come up with to help you practice this skill. Look forward to hearing from you.
So if you can't get outside, the next best thing we can do is shadow batting. And if you've recently watched a test on Amazon, Justin Langer said Steve Smith does this the whole time. Now, shadow batting is where you visualize the ball coming towards you and you get into good positions to play your different shots. Now, we want to get in good positions because if we get into bad positions, when we get to a game and we're watching the ball and our instincts take over, we're going to revert back to our muscle memory. So if we've been practicing bad stuff, that's what our brain's going to think we have to do. So make sure you get into really good positions when you're doing your shadow batting. So go away and practice these things as much as possible. Figure out your own style, how you pick up the bat, how you stand, whatever it is, but make sure you get that bat vertical in order to hit the ball hard. So just to recap, we pick the bat up vertically to get power. We want it vertical so there's no weight in the bat so we can swing the bat quicker. We want our hands up high so we can play a variety of different shots. And we also want to get them high so we can play the ball late. Now how do we do that? Strong top wrist, bottom palm, not gripping the bat too tight, release that bottom palm, and then dip your front side into the ball so your hands get back and you can hit the ball with a lot of power. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you found it useful, then leave any questions or comments in the section below. Follow us on social media, as well as subscribing to our YouTube channel so you can stay informed with future posts. Until next time.